Story 1. Telling someone in a plastic surgery subreddit that their labia looked normal when they were seeking opinions about labiaplasty. Story 2. Posting The Last Saskatchewan Pirate by Arrogant Worms. Apparently, they have a rule against promoting piracy. Story 3. I casually used the word cunt in Ask an American. It turns out it is not a common word or used lightly in the United States. Story 4. Someone posted that they didn't understand why their partner had left them. I explained how their ex might have viewed the situation. While my response was well received by others on the post, I specifically mentioned multiple times that I wasn't accusing them of anything. Another person reacted negatively to the slightest suggestion that the original poster might bear some responsibility or that there could have been miscommunication. They reported me, and the moderators shadow banned me. I asked the moderators what I did wrong. They did not respond to that but chose to critique another comment I made, which was completely inoffensive, claiming it was somehow rude. I suspect the person who reported me had friends on the moderation team who were willing to support their actions. I cannot understand how someone could draw such conclusions based on what I said. Story 5. I was permanently banned from the Korea subreddit for an unfavorable comment about a former president in a completely unrelated subreddit. Story 6. I was banned from my country's subreddit for pointing out that someone asking, "Why do I keep being mistaken for X ethnicity?" was actively pretending to be that ethnicity in another subreddit. When I asked the moderator to explain what I did wrong, they doubled down and extended the ban. Story 7. There was a discussion about someone attending a Taylor Swift concert sober. Someone replied that they would probably have a difficult time maintaining sobriety during such a concert. I thought it was quite funny and commented to share my appreciation for the joke. A moderator informed both of us that our comments had been deleted because it is a serious forum. I replied with LOL. I received a ban for a week and told them to issue an indefinite ban if that is how they choose to moderate the forum. Now I am permanently banned. Interestingly, I have not had any issues with alcohol since I stopped visiting that forum. I believe that engaging in discussions there amplified my struggles with sobriety. Story 8. I was banned from a subreddit for sharing a story about comforting a transgender person who was being bullied on the train by some teenagers. I expressed regret for not doing more to help. I was banned for casually mentioning the ethnicity of the teenagers. It's the most typical reason to get banned from Reddit that I can think of. Story 9. Coachella for posting drugs are terrible on a thread about the death of an artist I know personally. I am aware her death was heavily related to drugs. However, they said she was sick and blocked me. I had just attended her funeral and had been close with her and her family for more than a decade. But clearly, the Coachella moderators knew better. Story 10. I was banned from my city's Reddit for mentioning that crime exists. I was labeled a white suburbanite and permanently banned for racism without warning or a chance for appeal. I did not use slurs or suggest that any group was responsible for the crime. I simply stated that the train platform felt unsafe and that one should remain vigilant. They really deny that crime exists or that it is as bad as the news reports portray. The moderators and the echo chambers they create are worse than trolls, spammers, and disruptive posters. Story 11. It felt like the tip of my tongue, one of those situations. I made a post but only received one reply, and it wasn't what I was thinking of. I got a message from the community stating that I needed to be more interactive in my own post. I decided not to engage and deleted my post. I was banned due to a rule stating that if you delete your post after being asked to engage, you will be banned. It seems this happens so often that they had to establish a rule for it. Story 12. Banned from the Star Trek subreddit for suggesting that the main star of Star Trek, Discovery, cries a lot, which is true. It is common knowledge that the moderators follow Paramount's directives. Unpaid, I might add. Criticism of any current Star Trek show is discouraged, at least it was at that time. Story 13. They posted a falsehood and I called them out, resulting in a ban for trolling. According to their rules, by highlighting the falsehood, I was acting anti-Republican. To which I respond, well, I can't prove them wrong. Story 14. Atheism for criticizing Israel. Reddit is similar to Donald Trump. It is corrupt, heavily censors any criticism, and the administration is problematic. Story 15. I received a permanent ban from the politics subreddit a year ago for calling Marjorie Taylor Greene offensive names due to her actions. The moderators are quite sensitive. Story 16. I was banned from World News for copying and pasting directly from Israel's Wikipedia page. They called me a troll in their reasoning. Story 17. I was banned from the guitar community for spelling the word tone incorrectly. A group of self-righteous individuals runs that forum. Story 18. I got banned from 2X chromosomes for saying that kids who send out nude pictures aren't the spawn of the devil. It's not smart in the current climate, but kids do stupid things all the time. Judge the people abusing such pictures or the kids involved. Story 19. News for criticizing Israel for its treatment of Palestinians, before public opinion shifted to support Palestine. Story 20. Texas Rangers for calling a former player a Nazi based on their pro-Trump, pro-Elon, and anti-LGBTQ tweets. It's still against the Nazi Derek Holland, by the way. Story 21. I was banned from the subreddit 2X chromosomes for saying something positive about men. That subreddit is extremely toxic. I was also banned from another subreddit because I was subscribed to a different subreddit, which is quite hilarious. Story 22. I am a former Muslim and I am here to chat because I am bored. I made it very clear that I am not looking for trouble, not interested in heated arguments, and not trying to upset anyone, yet I was kicked out in 3 minutes. Story 23. I got banned from the comic book movies subreddit because the new moderator posted low-quality content of a popcorn bucket. I responded to another user's comment, criticizing it as a post meant just for clicks. That moderator replied to me, continued the discussion, and received a lot of downvotes before banning me. What is particularly fragile is that I posted about this in a 3D printing subreddit not long ago, and that same moderator replied to my comment, claiming I made everything up. They had never posted in that subreddit before, and I did not mention them by name. So, they actively search for comments about themselves as if there are numerous complaints. I guess the absurd reason for my ban is that a sensitive moderator didn't like that others downvoted their reply to me. They are still a moderator there, and I forgot their name until they acted this way recently. To that moderator, hi, you are still sad, and what you did is still pathetic. Story 24. I once got banned from all of Reddit for saying that law enforcement is more likely to kill black individuals. I was also banned from the Am I the Asshole community for saying that the original poster's best friend's boyfriend deserved to be kicked in the groin. Story 25. A TV sub asked for single quotes true fans of television shows would immediately recognize. So I quoted the phrase John Goodman's character said in Treem. Banned. Story 26. I was banned for posting negative comments on an anti-Tim Pool forum. Not by the Tim Pool moderators, but by moderators on a random thread for apparently supporting Tim. Story 27. Fitness was banned for me for asking about exercises that worked the same muscles as the deadlift. The main reason was that I specified I didn't want to deadlift due to an injury. I did not ask for any medical advice, but the moment I mentioned the injury, I was instantly banned. It was also my very first post in the forum. Story 28. I got banned from the subreddit for telling a perfectly innocent joke that someone misunderstood. They reported me when I explained the misunderstanding. Then, I explained it to the moderator in the temporary ban message and ended up getting permanently banned. Story 29. I was banned from the legal advice subreddit for calling out the moderators for deleting helpful and correct comments. They only supported commenters who suggested contacting the police, despite it often being the last resort in many situations. This subreddit generally provides poor advice for those seeking the guidance it claims to offer under the guise of expertise. The moderators and top commenters are primarily police officers and retired law enforcement, whose opinions are often biased and incorrect. They rarely act in the best interest of those seeking advice. True experts like lawyers, former criminal defense attorneys, and paralegals find their comments deleted. These individuals, knowledgeable in the court system and aligned with civil rights, often contribute to other forums that provide genuine legal advice instead of pandering to those who wish to oppress seekers of help while promoting views that contradict constitutional amendments and legal protections. The final straw came after a series of removed comments and patronizing warnings. Attempts to dismiss information posted with cited sources that contradicted their views, despite being accurate and fact-checked, were frustrating. I felt a sense of accomplishment for providing helpful information that their moderators and top commenters could not claim. However, the moderators reached their limit when I made a facetious yet pointed comment about a particularly uninformed commenter who gave dangerous advice that jeopardized someone's freedom. I felt compelled to intervene firmly. Due to these reasons, I was banned from the legal advice subreddit. My conscience is clear, and I have no regrets. I wonder if their former law enforcement moderators can say the same. If an average of 40% are willing to admit to committing acts of domestic violence and spousal abuse, it seems unlikely that many things trouble their consciences. Story 30. A trade subreddit banned me for responding to a call for more moderators. I expressed my interest and joked about having to look at bad trade memes all day. The moderator who made the post did not appreciate that I was taking his serious request lightly. Story 31. I got banned from the Hokai Third community for opposing pedophilia. The moderators made it clear that sexual relationships between 14-year-olds and adults are acceptable, and my disagreement led to my ban for attacking the community. The same moderators also previously claimed that assaulting lesbians to make them heterosexual isn't homophobic, and that the real bigotry is opposing such claims because it means you're silencing opinions. I also got banned from the Mandela Effect community for not believing in magic. I disagreed with someone about the existence of magical events, which resulted in me being stalked and threatened, with the word scalp being used repeatedly. One user even offered a monetary reward for whoever disclosed my personal information first. The moderators decided that I was the problem, and it was well known that they were friends with the stalker. Story 32. I almost got banned from the Handmaid's Tale subreddit for reporting a post about American politics. The subreddit rules state that political talk is not allowed. It's all they post there nowadays, and the moderators say they are making exceptions to the subreddit rules. Story 33. I was banned for anti-Semitism after asking what a series of cubes represented in a Holocaust memorial. Story 34. There was a Reddit post asking what the most offensive thing you had heard from a coworker was. I received a one-day ban for quoting a coworker. Story 35. This is a discussion about commenting on an image that was later removed for being spam. It is not intended for posting the image itself, but rather for sharing thoughts on it. Story 36. I asked feminists what it's like to express happiness and joy, and I got banned. I agreed with mental health professionals about the effectiveness of therapy while using a username that recommended therapy to everyone to fit in on Reddit. I got banned. This is absolutely ridiculous. Story 37. Banned from the food subreddit for mocking a bot. It was my favorite subreddit too, as I truly enjoy the subject. However, I stopped visiting because I could no longer ask questions or compliment people's dishes. Story 38. A local newspaper article reported on 3 individuals who were caught engaging in illegal activities. I was banned from my state's subreddit because the article included the names of the perpetrators. The moderators stated that this constituted doxing. Story 39. I was banned from a legal advice forum for discussing my water bill, even though the topic was about water bills. Apparently, my situation was considered irrelevant, despite there being an entire thread of comments similar to mine. Story 40. I was permanently banned from the Learn Art subreddit for making a silly and generic supportive comment instead of a constructive one. I understand why it is considered an offense, but a permanent ban for a first offense seems unreasonable. When I appealed, the moderators muted me for a month. Story 41. I got banned from a subreddit for visiting the conservative subreddit. I didn't subscribe or comment. I'm not even a strong conservative. I was just curious about reactions to something. It's ridiculous how much the left hates the right and vice versa. It's also ridiculous that they would allow moderators to track that. Story 42. There was an article about how the Taliban was attacking Pakistani police stations near the Afghan border. I pointed out how Pakistan had funded and provided sanctuary to the Taliban for years and was now experiencing the consequences of its actions. Banned for justifying terrorism. Story 43. On my old account, I was banned from event-based subreddit for calling out a moderator who removed my post without a valid reason. I asked what rule I had broken, and they replied, "See Rule 5. I checked, and it stated, 5. I'd like a ham sandwich. When I requested further clarification, they repeated, "See Rule 5. I raised the issue with a different moderator, but they dismissed it. I informed them that they could not use non-rules simply to remove posts they disliked or disagreed with, and I ended up getting banned. Story 44. Banned from anime conventions for subtly addressing a response that criticized panels discussing minorities as victimhood culture. Story 45. I was banned from World News for a comment, but they never specified why. I was banned from politics for using the term liberal, while explaining how individuals on the left are perceived by those on the right due to differing views. Story 46. I was banned from a discussion about the parallels between The Handmaid's Tale and the U.S. political climate for advocating violence. The violence I advocated for was ensuring that no one prevents you from voting your conscience by any means necessary. Story 47. A friend got banned from the site for criticizing the moderators of the r/politics community for allowing extremely offensive and abusive comments about Greta Thunberg when she spoke out against Israel's actions. Story 48. I was banned from World News and Geopolitics for stating that Israel's tactics were crimes against humanity and that they would end up doing what Nazi Germany did to their ancestors. Over a year later, here we are with the United States and Israel openly discussing ethnic cleansing. It seems I was right all along. Story 49. I was banned from one of the conservative forums for asking if conservatives really wanted to harm us. That gave me my answer. Story 50. No reason was given, and when I asked, my questions went unanswered. I called someone a winner in my first and only post. It seems arbitrary, as if Reddit's human resources has taken over moderation powers and is using bots to do the work. Story 51. I was banned from a support community after I tried to get the staff to care about transgender individuals, including myself, who were being targeted and harassed for no reason. Many people dismissed my experiences as lies. I thought the community was supposed to be supportive, but it seems you have to conform to a specific standard to be treated as if you matter there. I hope the moderators soon experience the consequences of their actions, as that's the only way people learn to be decent instead of judgmental and exclusionary. The downvotes only prove my point, as you continue to invalidate my real-life experiences if they don't match your narrative. This attitude is why many people hesitate to seek help. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Story 52. I used the word trap to describe a hermaphrodite character in a discussion and received numerous comments about how offensive it was, leading to my ban. I had no idea the term was so offensive. It was about a fictional character. It referred to Sylvia from the anime Konosuba, who literally traps the main character. I thought I was being funny, but it resulted in a permanent ban. Story 53. I was banned in politics for simply supporting some policies by Trump. You are not allowed to be a supporter of the right at all in the subreddit. They should just call it extreme liberalism. Anything that opposes their views is considered wrong. Story 54. I was banned from celebrities for making a joke that implied I might be there to engage in inappropriate activities with the attractive celebrities. I know, crazy, right? Story 55. I got banned from a Black Twitter community for making fun of Cardi B's poor command of the English language. Then I watched and read others on the site make fun of everyone who is not Black. The hypocrisy is frustrating. Story 56. Everyone expresses strong opinions about political figures, but I find it unfair to be banned for simply saying I like Trump. While I understand that many on Reddit have different perspectives, my opinion is not radical or extremist. I don't wish death upon Biden, Kamala, or any other Democrats. I just appreciate some of Trump's policies. Story 57. I got banned. Reddit community Los Angeles. I forgot why, but it's pointless, and the moderators are not reasonable. Reddit community PlayStation. I referred to the game Ghost of Tsushima as Ghost of Woke and called it a Samurai Die Hard. I received a shadow ban and was muted for 7 days, so I couldn't appeal. Reddit community PS5. I criticized an episode of the series The Last of Us as unnecessary and noted that it doesn't reflect the game. Reddit and these overly sensitive communities are a joke. Story 58. I am banned from instant justice for trolling someone in the conservative subreddit. Simply posting in conservative discussions can result in a ban. Story 59. I was banned from Reddit for saying misogynists were scared of women. Apparently, it was considered promoting hate. I have been banned from red pill communities for calling out misogyny and disagreeing with moderators. Apparently, they have to allow misogyny, or there's no point to the community. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.